Hi, this is Tim Miller with the Car Guys Show, and we're at Motorsport Ranch in Crescent, Texas for the Porsche Club's DE Weekend event. This is where the cars come out and have a little bit of fun. We got a lot of performance cars out here on the track, but where do they store those cars? Kristen Traeger answers that question with Garage Mahal.
Welcome to Garage Mahal. We are here with Keith Burgess at his home garage. We'll be checking out his trackside garage later. Keith, can you tell us about your collection?
Well, my collection is, you see part of it here. It started, I'd say about 25 years ago, back when I was in college and into law school, and I had one or two cars. I had one cool car that I was working on constantly, and then it's just kind of grown a bit piece by piece ever since.
So I see you have a McLaren, an Aston Martin. What is your favorite out of all your cars?
That's like asking someone who their favorite child is.
Good point.
It depends on what I'm doing with it. If I'm driving on track but not racing, my current favorite is my Radical SR8 because nothing touches it in terms of level of performance. If I'm just driving around town and doing errands or taking my dogs around, I like my Cadillac CTS-V. For just all-around daily driving, it's partially novelty, but it's really a spectacular car. The McLaren MP412C is absolutely outstanding. It does everything from tootling around town to get groceries to waking up into a complete track monster on track.
So you have a trackside villa with another garage at Motorsports Ranch. What's your favorite car to take on track there?
Well, if I'm just driving on track, the Radical SR8 is it. If I'm racing, my current favorite race car is what's called a Spec Racer Ford.
Can you tell us a little about your racing career?
I started racing in roughly 2000. I'd always wanted to race, but I couldn't afford it until then. And in 2000, I started racing. I went to school with a then good friend of mine who's since passed away, and went to school in a Spec RX-7.
Nice.
Interesting car, very difficult to drive. And then I was very early into Spec Miata right after that. That was the first race car I ever owned. I actually bought a used Miata, had somebody weld in a roll cage for me, and then I gutted it and got the car all prepared to race.
Which is actually one of the best race cars to start out in because it's a momentum car. How has that helped you in your racing today?
Well, I think all cars are momentum cars, but it's emphasized in a low horsepower car, obviously, because if you park it in the corners, that's it, you're done. You can never get that speed back. And a momentum car really demonstrates all of that for you because when you're in a pack of racers and you aren't rolling enough speed and you see that 2-car length gap appear, you never get it back. And it's a very, very hard but solid lesson when that starts happening to you, and you just sort of build up to stay with people the whole way and build up speed. And it's huge. It allows you to be smooth in the car. It allows you to use your hands enough but not enough. It allows you to learn what I think is the most important thing in racing, and that is carrying speed through the corner. You don't have time to look at the speedometer. You have to have a feel for the right speed to get through the corner just to stay on track.
So you have another garage at Motorsport Ranch. What is your favorite car to take on track there?
My favorite car there is probably the Radical SR8 if I'm just driving around or giving rides. If I'm racing, it's my Spec Racer Ford.
So let's head out to Motorsport Ranch to check out your second Garage Mahal. I think I'm going to take the McLaren.
How much money you got?
That's a pretty impressive Garage Mahal at home, but wait till you see Keith's Garage Mahal here at the track. Stay with us.
We bought this Mustang back in 2010 when we found out the new 5-liter motor was coming out. They added about 100 horsepower, so we bought it for our business. We use it for development. We call it the development mule. We do suspension design at our shop. It is street legal. We drove it here today. It's got some race tires on it, but they are DOT legal tires, barely. We run with a lot of different groups. We run with SCCA, we run in autocross and club trials, and with NASA we run in time trials as well. This Mustang, the handling is really what it's all about. You know, a lot of guys are into horsepower and all that. For a road course event, we want to have the car to handle, stop, go, but we do a lot of work to make the car handle really well. Started at a very young age, about 14. I fell in love with cars, got my first job, and saved up, bought my first car, and I've just been a nut ever since. I've probably owned 100 different cars through my life.
The great thing about this track is that you can live on it. It's a country club for motor enthusiasts. And today we're visiting Keith Burgess, his version of what we like to call Garage Mahal with Christian Traeger.
So Keith, we've been to your first garage and now we're at your second beautiful Motorsport Ranch garage. Can you tell us about it?
Well, I built this house about 7 years ago, and it's right alongside the track. So literally 100 feet outside this garage door is the track, and you might even hear a few cars out there running outside right now.
I do. I think I hear some Porsches right now. So how is it living next door to a track?
It's a little slice of heaven if this is your thing.
Definitely. So I see you've got quite a collection here, a lot of spec Miatas. I'm guessing you take these out quite a bit on the track?
It's great. A Miata is, in my view, sort of the perfect track car because it has the combination of being reliable and inexpensive to run, but handling well and being a joy to drive. So I drive both a spec Miata and then a turbocharged version on the track all the time.
Awesome. What other cars do you have in this collection?
Right behind us is a 1961 Corvette. That and I are the same vintage, although it looks a little bit better for its age. Next to it is a Radical SR8. It's a British sports car that is extremely quick out here. It's in fact the quickest you can go with a passenger seat in it.
And I heard you have the track record in that car for out here.
As far as I know, for a two-seat car with two people being in the car, it's the fastest anyone's ever gone out here. The open wheel Indy Lights cars are faster, but they're obviously a single-seat car.
Very cool. And a Viper I see also.
2001 Viper, bought that new in 2001. I love that car. And then of course my utility pickup truck, the McLaren we drove out here in. The pride of the collection, a 1990 Ferrari F40. And then directly behind me here is a Spec Racer Ford, a very satisfying one design race car.
Now I know picking between race cars is kind of like picking a favorite child. You really can't do it, but if you did have a favorite, what would it be?
Well, if I just want to go stupid fast, it's the Radical SR8. It's mind-bending how quick it is.
Awesome. Do you have any future plans to add to this collection?
Well, we'll see. Buddy and I go in together on cars from time to time. We've been looking for a Ford GT, but my ultimate car that I would love to have above all others right now is a McLaren F1.
That would be amazing. And this man just won a race in Spec Racer Ford, isn't that right?
Yeah, we were down at New Orleans, the NOLA Motorsports Park down there, and hadn't been down there before. It was a fantastic facility, and yeah, it was third on Saturday, and then managed to pick it up a little bit better and won on Sunday.
Badass. So Keith, thank you so much for having us out at both of your garages, although I think I'm a little bit partial to this one. I'm a big Spec Miata fan. I think you and I need to go toe-to-toe in a Spec Miata.
Oh, I'm ready. Let's bring it on.
All right, maybe you can sponsor me.
Well, we'll see about that.
Or maybe Tim can sponsor me. Back to you.
That was an impressive Garage Mahal that Keith has at the track, and I like the one that he had at his house as well. What's also impressive is the Porsche Club and their DE event out here at Motorsport Ranch. Stay with us.
This is a 2014 F12 Berlinetta. Ferrari says this is the fastest street car they've ever made until the LaFerrari. I have a couple of cars on order. I have a 458 Speciale and then the LaFerrari. It's this engine, horsepowered up from 730 horsepower to 800 horsepower. It's a hybrid, so it has 150 horses of electric motor. So it's 960 horsepower with the electric motor. The first cars have been delivered in Europe already. The North American cars will start being delivered probably late spring, early summer. I have a 599 GTO, a 458 Spider, a 458 Coupe, two 458 Challenge race cars. We race on all the great tracks around the country and sometimes out of the country. We did Interlagos at Sao Paulo this year. There's a world finale at the end of the season that is typically held outside of Florence, Italy at the Ferrari-owned Mugello track. But this year it's going to be the Yas Marina circuit at Abu Dhabi. I've only driven it hard really one time, and I wasn't looking at the speedometer. I was really just looking at the road and watching the tachometer. So I would guess somewhere between 120 and 140.
It's Tim Miller of the Car Guy Show. We're out at Crescent, Texas at Motorsport Ranch for the Porsche Club's DE event. It makes me think of, training camp for Porsches. Yeah.
Most of the participants in this event are Porsche owners, and they're Porsche Club members.
Well, the Maverick region is the area around Dallas-Fort Worth. It has a little over 2,300 Porsche Club members that support Porsche members in enjoying fun with their cars and camaraderie with the people that come with the cars.
It's an excellent way for people to see how their sports cars perform in a track situation.
Should a lot of you be at the floor about the Apex? Or right shortly after? Yes.
In the driver's education program, you're competing more against yourself than anything else. Every one of our new students has an instructor with them in the car at all times. So it's about learning and sometimes unlearning bad habits that you've learned over 10, 20, 30 years of driving an automobile. And then you apply that science to a much safer driving skill and habit when you're back on the public roads. We have over 50 instructors here. Most of them have 10 or more years experience as an instructor in the program, and they just do a great job of listening first, which is what you really have to do as an instructor, and then providing feedback to the students so that they will continue to improve throughout the program.
And I really like to see students get it. So I love being in the car, seeing the students start to get what they're doing and enjoy it and have fun, and I like to be a part of that.
One of the things that we're promoting with all the participants is to be serious enough about it to come to all of our events and work on working up through the different run groups as you advance in your skills and your techniques.
A lot of these people got here because they're successful in their other parts of their life, and they come here to also be successful at something else, and this is the most challenging. I relate it to golf a lot with adrenaline, and that's what it is. It takes a lot of practice. You can never really do it right, so it keeps you coming back.
You're learning techniques that are used in racing. At Motorsport Ranch, you can hit as high as 120. We're running the 1.7 track. That's the 1 mile, 7/10. We can put 26 to 27 cars on the track at a time. We typically keep it 1 or 2 under the max for safety reasons.
It's an opportunity for our membership to come together, have a social event, have a little mini concourse, and they get their car all polished up and show it off there at the meeting place.
I did my first DE event 16 months ago, and I've been to every one I can get in ever since. It's just a neat way to see how these cars perform.
I didn't start doing this until I was about 40. You're never too old. Probably our oldest autocrosser is about 80 years old, and he's still very fast.
My grandfather had a Porsche when I was growing up. In 1996, when I got transferred back to Fort Worth, I had the option of buying a brand new Ford Taurus or a 10-year-old Porsche. the answer for me was pretty obvious. So I got the 10-year-old Porsche, and I've been in the club now for 13 years.
Everybody takes their car very personally. It's you know, it's their baby, and it's kind of fun to see them all get out. Everybody wants to show you a little bit something special about their car. You know, everybody's tweaked something one way or the other, and it's a fun thing to do.
It's probably been the best experience in my life. I've been in the club going on 11 years now, and it's just all the opportunities the club offers to the members. Everything from social, competitive, to educational. It's just, there's actually almost too much to do.
The Porsche Club really knows how to tear up the track, and they have a good time doing it as well. This is a great event, and we got a few other great events to check out as well. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Car Guys Show. I'm your host, Tim Miller, and while Raphael here was having a great time here at the Porsche Club event,
Good heavens.
There's a lot of other great events taking place as well.
Well, it better be.
We're here at Cars and Coffee. Two things that keep guys up late at night, but for different reasons. We're at Classic BMW here in Plano, Texas, and they host the annual Cars and Coffee event every month. And we have a wide array of classic cars, collectors' cars, and of course, the exotics.
This is a 2000 Viper GTS.
I have a McLaren, an MP12C.
This is a 2005 Lamborghini Gallardo.
2013 991 Carrera S.
We have a BMW club, we have a Mustang club, Corvette club, and they're kind of a regular attender.
Cars and Coffee is a lot of fun. We've been coming out here for years. We come out here every few months, and we usually bring one of our Mustangs out or one of our other cars from our shop.
Well, it's the biggest event there is in DFW, that's for sure. There's one in Fort Worth now, but it's not at this level yet.
No matter what the weather is, you'll have at least this type of crowd or larger.
I bring it here because I like to look at other cars. I enjoy owning cars, enjoy driving them, enjoy racing them, so I come out here. I was coming down 121, coming to the car show here in Plano, and he said he clocked me about 98 miles an hour, along with a Ferrari and a Shelby, but I guess I'm the only guy he really stopped. So no, he didn't give me a ticket. He said, he gave me a warning, said slow it down next time he would. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I think it's a great deal. I think it's good. I was really concerned about my insurance and all the other things.
We get a little bit different each time, things that show up. We never know what's going to be here, so it's really great.
You've got a brand new car, if you've got a car made in the 50s or 60s, you can come, and they've got you broke up into different countries where the cars were made, and it's really a neat event.
It's more or less a giant get-together where everybody can come and see every type of car that's here. You meet lots of people here, talk about what they've done with their cars, give you a chance to see the cars up close and personal.
Love it. Good gathering every month. Nice to come out, live close to here. Quite a variety of cars. Just a good time.
All of our friends come to these events because it's just the best one of the month for sure.
It's just the people. There's so many people to come by. Everybody's really friendly. They always want to talk about cars. It's just a great place to meet car folks.
My dad and I come out here. It's a fun thing for us. And we're out here rain or shine. So these are our drivers' cars, but we don't baby them at all.
What's interesting about it, a lot of people don't realize, is Cars and Coffee have a different group that benefits whatever the tips that they receive for the coffee and donuts and things like that.
We have charities each and every month. This time a city place. We'll have one, of course, a new one each month. We've had Toys for Tots, usually during Christmas time, get toys for the kids. We've had wounded soldiers, you name it, all different kinds, and we're always taking new and different charities. This is totally open to the public. There's no entry fee. Just show up, enjoy the cars, talk about cars, have some coffee.
That's it for this week's show. We'd like to thank the Porsche Club and MSR for allowing us to come out here and have a little bit of fun. And we look forward to seeing you next week on the Car Guys Show. Don't I get a helmet or anything?